this is April 2009, so I turned 10 years old. I was in the house I was in the very house I am right now, having a slumber party watching High School Musical that month. Like, on April 27th of that year, 10th year birthday party. Slumber party, High School Musical with the projector, it was great. Oh, you can leave a note? Nice room. Not. No! Be nice!
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're gonna see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually. Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played. But it's ironic, isn't it? That in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
Video games can do that. A good book can do that. I seem to notice that, like, creative works of art can do that. If you write it properly. Or if you write it in a certain way. You know? You know, why do I have a feeling that if I read all of these, I bet you there's an achievement for reading all the notes, and I might go back someday and do all of them, but no, I think it's a better idea if we just do it. You know, just go through. I think this is interesting though, but also very Stanley Parable. You can tell that he wrote this game. Honey. Stop faking it. whispers. Stop pretending spoilers, it doesn't mean anything. These kind of look like YouTube comments, basically. These look like YouTube comments, or random comments you'd find at the bottom of the game.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one. In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on. And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
You might be reading a little too much into it. What is scratching at the wall? It's not, it's typewriters. Are you there? Can you say something? Talk to me, please. Why are you having so much talking? Speak. June 2009, Kaylee was turning 5!
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kinda just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Okay. So do you guys think these games actually mean anything, or do you think that, just like the Stanley Parable, basically screwing with this? Ooh, Circular Gallifreyan! Joke. I'm sure the developer didn't actually know Circular Gallifreyan. Oh, that would be super funny in a game, though, if someone made those little designs on the wall and everyone was just like, oh, cool! Oh, cool, look at these epic designs, so intricate. And then Hoovians are just like, that's Circular Gallifreyan. That's Circular Gallifreyan. I have to translate it. And then it ends up, like, saying a secret message or a code or something. That'd be so fun.
See, like, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway.
Yeah, that's not very interesting.
For some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Alright. The furniture has disappeared. My furniture ought to go in the center of the room. Put a giant hole in the ground. That's not a hole in the ground. That's a table. I guess I'd really like a washing machine. Those are couches. I think we should light up this room a bit. Skylight, full ceiling window. Let's open this baby up. I already have a table. Who are you, and where exactly are you doing this from? Jeez.
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
What is even happening? I was trying to trick him into letting me out.
He throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Hello, please walk forward. Okay, fine. This guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully. Take what you remember at each step. First, click on this table. Good. Over to the photo frame and click to turn it slightly. Now turn the floor lamp in this room off and turn it back on. Now go to the left side sofa and move it over a little. Finally, touch the shelves. That's it. In a real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the start to be taken back to your prison. This is just wacky.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape.
Right.
Here's
okay.
a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside.
What is it?
Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this. To see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop. That particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral.
Wait a second.
And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going. And then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
What even is this? What's happened? Okay. Hi, lamppost. And a telephone booth. It's a payphone. Thanks. Hello. Who is this? Hello, who is this? Hey, it's me. I'm you from after you escaped. You're me. So you were trapped in this prison too.
It's a conversation. And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
I guess, I don't know. You feel like differently. Sometimes I'm scared I'll get out and think to do exactly the same. Remember to enjoy being who you are right now with Welp. Yes, I did get a call. That's how I escaped. What did they tell you? What did you have to do to get out? I don't know. All he told me was to be sincere. What? That freed you. How does that work? Listen, you can't know until you're out, but I promise it works. Sincere about what? That's exactly what you need to figure out in order to escape.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. That's what friends are for. And that's what family is supposed to be for.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
I don't know.
To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Well, my goodness, I'm glad as all heck you showed up. I thought I might have to clean this out all by myself.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on.
Okay.
From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Then you decide. I'll help clear the table. Much nicer. That's the table I want to see. Now, would you please bend it to the bedroom and make the bed? Sure. I don't know where the bedroom is, but I'll give it my best shot. While you're in there, why don't you straighten up the rug a bit? All the little details matter. Do you enjoy being a house cleaner? Well, I don't enjoy it as much as I need it. While you're working, I feel kind of calm. Yeah, sure. But yeah. I guess I kind of get it. Uh-oh. Yeah, make it especially cheesy. I'm gonna be nice to her. Oh. No, it was stupid. Sorry, never mind. Okay, these just need to be washed. What are you doing? You're not doing anything. You're not doing anything, though. Okay.
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing.
But we just did this.
It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful. I know that Coda really liked this game. Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was, like, grossly happy all the time, just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Well, here's my question, though. This feels like real life. Like, dishes never end. I mean, a tidy house for some people helps clean their mind. he getting married to someone? But here's my question. This seems like real life. To be honest, this has basically been my life for the past couple of years. It's everyone's
I'm glad he
life.
made this.
Just chores.
I'm glad he found some peace.
Just chores and doing the same thing over and over again, you know?
But, of course, it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
Wait, if I hold still, I die? Is there something out here that will kill me if I stay still? I really want to test it, but I'm afraid it's gonna troll and start at the beginning.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.